Hello, Devils. We are here today with Senior Stories, and today's senior is Wayne Morris, and he's going to tell us about his time as a Jackson High School Devil. Hello, Wayne.
Hello.
So, you have been at Jackson for all 4 years, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. While you were here, what are some of your highlights? What things did you enjoy most?
Depending on the year, like in ninth grade, I got my first award in theater. That was fun. In 10th grade, I had joined a small group of basically D&D players. That's what
Okay.
actually started to get me into all of that,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm still pretty big in it now.
Okay.
Last year, I got my first bigger role in acting. It wasn't a major or main.
Was that in Matilda?
It was.
Okay.
It was in Matilda, yeah. And this year, a couple of things actually happened. Like I got a couple of honor scores for classes I was in, audio video tech, your class.
Yes, sir. Passed his EOPA. Let's go.
And yesterday, I got my theater cord.
Congratulations. You're going to be stacked on the hill.
And the bigger part about that, only 3 of the seniors who are in the theater thing got them.
Oh, wow. That does make it a little bit more exclusive.
And the limit to get them is you have to get 60 points at least. All 3 got over 70.
That is fantastic. I'm so proud of you guys. So I want to circle back real quick to the D&D. I recently found out that our I Love the 80s store does D&D on First Fridays. Did you know about that?
I did know about that, but I hadn't really gotten a chance to go and see it.
Okay. Well, June 6th, I think, is the Friday for June. We're going to go and test it out for the first time, so you're welcome to join us and anybody else out there listening. I Love the 80s on the Square, D&D, every first Friday. So that's going to be an interesting experience. And if you were a part of my class, Cameron Wilder also plays and was a background actor that came in and talked to some of our students last semester. All right. So moving on, so acting has been a lot of your passion here at Jackson High School. While you were here, and it doesn't have to be an adult in the building, but what adult in your life do you feel like has supported you the most?
Coach Guillory.
Okay.
Because, like I brought up, he was one of the first teachers who showed up here with the class of 2025. And I've had his class for a couple of years. When I was going through some things with people who didn't really like me and people I didn't really like, he was one of the only people who would actually stand with me and help me out with all of that.
I'm really glad you had somebody to help you through that, and I'm glad you're on the other side of it. And Coach Guillory is an awesome teacher. Unfortunately, our future Devils will not get the chance to experience his class, and our awesome boys soccer team just went to the Elite Eight with him, but he is leaving us, jumping over to Henry County, so he will be missed. All right, so if you could talk to the adults in the building, what advice would you have for them in the future in dealing with students? Like from your perspective, what would be the best advice for them?
With that case, there are a couple of rules I don't think really matter all that much. They kind of press them too hard, or they really just don't. They don't give any sort of gravatas. For example, holes in pants. I don't have any, but yeah, I saw you cover yours. They are pushing it a little too much. Like they don't matter all that much. You can.
I know. We've had talks about dress code and fighting our battles and which ones we should fight and which ones we should not. So I know that's still a conversation that's on the table.
And Another one would be to, in certain cases, there are a lot of times where certain people are played as the villains of the story and not the victims, when it's in fact the other way around. So instead, I would ask that you delve deeper into the story before making an assumption, to basically give everybody a side of the story and give the truth out completely.
Yeah, and I can tell you that is hard. Trying to listen to all sides, even for somebody that does try to dive in, it's hard to figure out what the truth is because everybody has their version and their story. But that is a comment that was made by another senior of just trying to understand more of the situation before making final determinations. So, all right. So, speaking of advice, we're going to switch it though. Instead of adults, our middle schoolers that are coming over to the high school, what advice would you give them?
Don't be scared to jump into anything new. And don't be scared to try anything new. Like a couple of people from my class were. But at the same time, don't be overconfident because it will break you down more than it will build you up.
Ooh, okay. We've had the comment about trying new things and exploring because high school is where not only can you find your passion and your path, but you can also just figure out what you don't like and what you don't want to do. But that comment about being overconfident is a really interesting one. But I know I've had students that feel like they do know everything and then they find out, oh, I do have more to learn. And that's where I try to model like being a lifelong learner because it doesn't matter if I'm 33, I'm still have things to learn. There's still things that I don't know and things that I even have students teach me each semester. So, very nice. All right. And then after you leave here, after you get across that hill in 2 weeks, what you got planned after that?
Hopefully, I will be going to college.
All right, all right. And if I remember our conversations correctly, your goal is Columbus State?
Columbus State University. Yes, it is.
All right. And then what about after that? What are you going to use that college degree to hopefully do?
Hopefully, if I will be doing what I hope to be, I will be majoring in theater or acting, and hopefully, I'll be doing more of that because I love acting. I basically grew up on it.
Yeah, and I think that even being on the stage in any capacity would definitely suit you and fill your passion in life. But I think you would make an excellent voice actor as well. And you know, I've encouraged you towards that, even for side gigs and money. But
I've been looking into it. I have, but I just haven't exactly had the time to.
oh yeah,
Nor do I
well,
have the equipment like these beautiful mics right here.
yes, and Amy Trace hooked us up. Mr. Tom White got us our whole setup, and it is so very nice. We could even do some ASMR if you're
Oh, that
into that.
hurts.
Yeah, I'm
That
not.
hurts.
But all right, well, we are going to wrap up today. But thank you so much, Wayne, for taking the time to talk to us and tell us about your experience here. I can't wait to share it with all of our listeners. Check in next for our another senior story.